Florida's Attorney General has filed a first-of-its-kind lawsuit against OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman. The wide-ranging civil lawsuit alleges the company marketed a product that it knew was unsafe. Florida also has a separate criminal investigation going on into the company. Earlier today, the state's Attorney General said OpenAI is putting profit over safety.
ChatGPT works quickly to create, promote, and aid users in whatever task they are engaging in. It aids them even if they are pursuing violence. Sam Altman and ChatGPT have chosen the AI race over the safety and security of our kids.
NBC News has reached out to OpenAI and Sam Altman for comment. We have not heard back. The company has previously said it designs its systems with, quote, safety at every step, unquote. Joining us is NBC News legal analyst Misty Marris. Misty, this is a long document. Can you take us through some of the arguments? Because they are citing some specific examples, right?
Absolutely. So the claims are deceptive trade practices, negligence, products liability, design defect, failure to warn, fraudulent misrepresentation, and public nuisance. And the crux of the case, Kate, is that there are dangerous issues with this particular platform, and the company is failing to disclose them and even intentionally shielding the public from them. They say that this platform causes danger of addictions, cognitive decline, suicide, violence, and other related harms. So essentially, the argument is that profits are being put over the safety of the users in the state of Florida.
And the lawsuit also is seeking to hold CEO Sam Altman personally liable. How challenging is that going to be just legally for the state attorney general's office?
It's not only challenging, it's also another unique legal theory against an executive of a company seeking to hold them personally liable. So this is really the first of its kind, Kate. We've seen a lot of different lawsuits, but it's mirroring the types of legal arguments we saw with Big Pharma and tobacco, where you actually saw personal liability for those who are making corporate decisions, which the corporation would generally shield them from personal liability. The cases would be against the company only. So there's a higher standard for that personal liability, and it's gross negligence or fraud. And they'll also have to connect Altman specifically to the decisions that they say created the harm. So that will be a challenging legal argument, but we've definitely seen it play out before in those other areas. And if successful, it could be a game changer to the way that they approach safety concerns and risk management behind the scenes.
And Misty, we haven't heard back from OpenAI, but what kind of a defense would you expect?
Many of the arguments that they've raised publicly in response to other lawsuits, including this one, is that there are safety protocols and procedures in place and that they're constantly trying to improve those over time. So I would expect to see a lot of behind the scenes about what types of safety protocols were put in place in order to combat these types of harms. And I think we'll see that play out in the course of this lawsuit, as well as the many others that are also happening simultaneously.
Misty Marris for us. Misty, thank you.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.